Hola a todos, soy Tomás. Hi everybody, it's Thomas here, getting ready for the weekly Spanish Learn Along live stream. That's not really meant to be the name of the thing, but yeah, so here's the plan today. We're going to go over some Duolingo, learn some Spanish. This is the Esperanto Variety Show, where we have new videos every week in Esperanto or about Esperanto. And going into 2019, I've been looking to include other general language learning tips, and it's been my New Year's resolution to learn Spanish this year. So today we are going to work on Duolingo, and I'm fortunate to have a guest with me today. Rafa, are you there?
Sí, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying not to speak Esperanto. This is funny. So yeah, thanks for being on the live stream.
My pleasure.
Yep. So Rafa and I have met twice already, I think, right?
That's true.
Just the once. I can't remember now. Yeah, twice in North Carolina for the Esperanto summer school. And yeah, so you are a native Spanish speaker.
That's right. I am from
Puerto Rico. All right. Yeah, so yeah, the plan is we're going to work on some Duolingo. I'm going to bring up the chat here just so I can see it. And it's yeah, so here's the part. All right, so I've got that muted. This is the one technical thing. There's got to be a smoother way to do this, but I can't bring that up without messing up my chat. All right, it says we got 3 people watching. All right, anybody? So if you're out there, I would suggest bringing up your own Duolingo and working along. If you come across anything you want to ask a question about, that might be a good time to bring it up in the chat. I know some people have said they like to listen to these sorts of long form live streams when they're either driving or exercising, that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, so let's get started. So the way I have this set up, we won't actually, the people watching won't actually be able to hear the sounds. So Rafa, you and I are going to have to be our own sounds.
Okay, I can read the phrase if you want me to.
All right, yep, let's do it that way. So yeah, so I am in the process of testing out on some of these. And I'm going to test out. I'm working on routines. So here we go. So you and I will hear any sound, but I don't think that the rest of the people watching will.
Got it.
All right. We always make very good food. Oh boy, this. You know what? I think this is one that's giving me grief. I don't remember the word for. Is it hacer? Nosotros.
Mm-hmm.
Siempre. This is the other question: is where do you put the adverb? Is it siempre hacer?
Mm-hmm. Siempre.
Comida buena.
Mm-hmm.
Is it comido?
It's comida, and remember to conjugate the verb.
Oh yes, nosotros hacemos. Thank you.
Muy bien.
Hacemos.
Mm-hmm. And another tip. You're too fast for me.
Yeah, comida.
Yes.
All right. So what's the right way to say this?
Nosotros siempre hacemos comida muy buena.
Nosotros siempre hacemos comida muy buena. All right.
That clearly refers to Puerto Rican cuisine.
Oh, that's right. You're the infamous banana guy that I talked about.
The infamous banana guy. Jeez.
Oh, now that I said this, I need to sort of toot your horn in a more serious way here. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, tonight at 8:30 Eastern, which is the time it is right now, we're going to do a live stream with a native Spanish speaker. Work through some Duolingo exercises. The guest this week will be Rafa, Duolingo contributor, moderator, language whiz, and pretty much swell guy.
Oh, shucks.
We'll work through some Duolingo exercises. He may correct my pronunciation. How soon that has come to pass. and share our mutual interest in learning languages. Yeah, so last week when I was working on the Duolingo for the live stream, I kept seeing I saw two different words for banana, and it was plátano and banana. And I said, "Oh yeah, I remember some of the guys were talking about were kidding each other about the right word for banana." And I had forgotten that you actually use a different word. It's neither one of those.
Yes.
It's the correct word.
Yeah, the correct one.
¿Cómo se dice banana?
Se dice guineo.
Guineo. All right, so if we have any banana questions, I'm going to put in guineo and see if Duolingo will accept that. All right. Are you? No, you're that's right. You're a contributor for the Esperanto course.
Yeah,
you do the Duolingo Esperanto course, right? Are you involved with both the courses, the Spanish and the English?
So I'm not one of the contributors for the Spanish one, but I kind of troll the boards and answer questions, but I'm not part of their team per se. No.
Oh, okay. Yep. Kind of like what I do. I go out and I answer questions, and people say, "What do you mean you're not a contributor?" I'm like, "Oh no, they do all the hard work, and I get to hang out with you."
I would say you're a contributor. You're just not twiddling the bits behind the scenes. But
yeah. All right, so here we go. You're going to ask me how I got to level 4 in this. Donde tomar? Is it tomar? How do you say catch a bus?
They would probably say tomar.
And donde tomas el autobús? Donde tomas el autobús? Let's see if that works. Yay! Donde toman el autobús ustedes? Because this is the other thing is I've gotten in the habit of not typing the accents.
So I'm one of those. I think accents are important.
Yeah.
I understand why on a platform like Duolingo you might not, just because you need to type fast and you don't know what the keys are and whatever, and if you don't have the keyboard for it, it's kind of slow.
Yep.
But it's a little bit like in Esperanto, where if you don't put the right accent marks, sometimes you're saying the wrong thing, right?
Yep.
Not always, but sometimes.
Yep. I'm thinking I need to get back to writing, because when I write with pen and pencil, it feels very natural to put in the accents. And I'm starting to think I might actually start taking notes when I do the Duolingo, especially when it says pay attention to the accent, so I can practice writing them.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I didn't notice that they actually say that. That's nice.
Yep. Cool. All right.
Shall I away?
Yes. Yeah. When the voice comes on, you just echo it back.
Okay. ¿A qué hora sales del trabajo?
And that means, what time do you leave work?
Perfecto.
Gracias. Oh man, pa. I don't remember how to say cake. Pastel. Yes, to hago un pastel. Is it de chocolate? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Can I ask you something? Have they taught you the present progressive, like am making versus I make?
I don't think so. I don't think I've gotten there yet.
Okay, then this might be fine.
Let's see. Yo hago un pastel de chocolate. All right.
Hago el desayuno muy temprano.
All right, and that means I make breakfast very early.
Muy bien.
Gracias. I never leave the house late. Yo nunca salir.
That's an irregular one.
Oh, salgo.
Salgo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
That's a big one.
Yo nunca. It's...
I think you forgot something. Yeah.
Yo,
catch.
Yo
Nunca
nunca,
salgo de la casa.
yo nunca salgo de la casa temprano.
Mm-hmm. You could also say de casa.
Nunca salgo de casa tarde. Whoops, temprano. I got it. Oh, yeah, temprano is early.
I didn't notice that either.
All right.
De la casa is not incorrect, but I think you would say de casa, like when you say home. You would say
Yeah.
de.
Well, I've noticed in Spanish there's one. It seems to be there's no special word for home. It's a casa would mean at home.
There is one called hogar. Hogar
Mhm.
is more like home, like in welcome to my home.
Yep.
Bienvenido a mi hogar. But yeah, but when you say you're leaving home late or something, you would say de casa. You wouldn't say de hogar. That would sound weird.
All right. So, ¿qué haces en las tardes?
Perfecto.
What do you do in the afternoon?
Mhm.
And it's going to say another correct answer is in the afternoons. Yep. So, what do you do in the afternoon? What do you do in the afternoons?
Mhm.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can say this, and then if I can't, I'm going to ask you to. I'm going to play it one more time. Oh yeah, no thanks. Could you? I couldn't hear that. Could you?
I think he said ella necesita levantarse a las 7.
All right, I heard necesitan. I'm going to play it at turtle speed. Yeah, I think you were right. Siete. Ella necesita levantarse a las 7. And I got to check my spelling here. Levantarse a las siete. Is that right?
Perfect.
It doesn't look right to me. This is another thing. You had asked me something about Spanish, and the funny thing is, you hear so much Spanish just sort of growing up watching Sesame Street or wherever, and you pick up a word here, pick up a word there, and never actually learn how to spell it.
Mm.
And this word siete just looks wrong to me. I just can't.
Yeah. So
All right.
Spanish is very phonetic, but only in one way. Like if I write that, there's exactly one way of pronouncing that. You will never,
Yep.
if you know the rules, actually, even if you know the accentuation rules, you'll know where to put
Yep.
every stress. Perfect. The way back doesn't necessarily work, right? Because that S could have been a Z or a C, and it would have been pronounced the same.
Yep. All right. School is always, oh man, la escuela.
Mm-hmm.
Siempre es
Mm-hmm.
es difícil. Is there an accent on the I? Difícil.
Yes. It's a C. Though.
Oops. Oh, it took it. It says you have a typo. La escuela siempre es difícil.
Yeah, you see, this is exactly what I mean. Like when you hear
Yep.
difícil, it could be a Z, it could be an S, who knows?
Yep. All right.
It's funny because I hear the bell before I actually see the change.
Yeah, it's funny. I've noticed that when I watch the replay too. That there's a lag sometimes between the screen and the sound.
Muy bien. Tengo 2 semanas de mucho trabajo.
Yeah, this is another one that just doesn't seem like a natural sentence to me. I have 2 weeks of a lot of work, and I think the alternate translation is I have 2 weeks of hard work. Yeah, I have 2 weeks of hard work.
I have to agree. It doesn't sound weird in Spanish, but it does sound weird in English, doesn't it?
Yep. Tengo 2 semanas de mucho trabajo.
Mm-hmm.
Is it plural? Ella sale. Ella sale. Ella sale a las 8:30, I think she said.
Very good.
Y media.
You're going to check it before you submit?
Let me do a turtle speed here. Ella sale. All right. Yeah. Thank you for having me double check that. A little bit Esperanto sneaking into my Spanish there.
That happened to me a lot when I was taking the Esperanto course, because al for Spanish speaker is a and el together.
Yep.
So,
All right. La niña. Oh, good. Would you read that for me?
La niña quiere ponerse un vestido. I'm doing my best to speak with a neutral Univision accent for your audience.
All right. So actually, I asked Jeanette this question, and I noticed that in the Duolingo speaker, a lot of times the Y in yo almost sounds like J to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yo no quiero hacer algo.
That's how I would say it.
All right. Well, that might be the answer to my question. Is that regional and
yes. I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's like a Spain versus Latin America thing, or if it's even within Latin America, different countries do different things. But that's certainly something where some countries have it pronounced a little bit harder than others.
All right.
Mi hermana siempre hace su tarea.
I think I talked over you. Could you say that again?
Mi hermana siempre hace su tarea.
Oh, I've seen this before. I don't remember what it means. Tarea. ¿Cómo se dice tarea? I'm thinking this is one of these. I don't know what this means. This is. I think this is one of those expressions that when you figure out what it means, it actually hace doesn't is. It's a. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's hejtasco in Esperanto.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. He always does his homework.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes. I guess that doesn't make or all right.
So let me stress that it's mi hermana.
Oh yeah, and there's I can tell you the story behind that one. This is the problem is there was a Spanish language newspaper that was published on the campus where I went to school, and it was called Hermanos Latinos, and I knew it meant Latino brothers, and I just have it in my head. I see hermano, and I'm like, oh, it must be hermano. And I have to actually like force myself to recognize that there's an A on the end of it.
It probably doesn't help that in Esperanto the A does not have that meaning either. You're used to seeing A, it doesn't mean feminine, so it doesn't register the same way.
Yeah, it could be. All right. Yeah, my sister always does her homework. Mi hermana siempre hace su tarea. I'm going to take a break from this and just to see if there's anybody in the chat that's... all right. What did I just do? Oh, there you are. Hola. Okay, Fede. Saluton. Un apoyo que mi estas tiel frue por la el sendo. All right, so this is the Spanish... the Spanish practice for English speakers. Glad to have many Esperanto speakers on here. So this is the first time Fede has been here this early for the live stream. Yep. So there was the Esperanto practice this afternoon, and yep. So we'll see. El héroe del foro de Esperanto para hispanohablantes en Duolingo. Yes. Rafa es héroe. ¿Cómo se dice esta palabra?
Héroe.
Héroe. Héroe del foro de Esperanto. Yeah, that's the thing. Is there's a lot of questions out there, but we don't always know who. Oh my gosh, we don't always know who can answer them. All right. Yeah, this is funny. Aaron Albrecht says, Chuni crocodilas. So for those of you who don't know, he's asking in Esperanto whether we shouldn't be speaking Esperanto, and so somebody says no. This is the Spanish Duolingo stream for English speakers. Yep. So yeah, it's a little confusing. This is the Esperanto Variety Show, and the idea here is Esperanto Variety Show. I want you to be the best Esperanto speaker you can be. One of the things I'm working though on in 2019, certainly especially in the start of the year, is I want to get some general language learning tips out on the channel, so because no matter which language you're learning, including Esperanto, you want to know sort of the right way to go about it. And that sort of tied in with my interest in learning Spanish this year. I thought, while I'm out here practicing my Duolingo anyway, I could live stream it. And then I was going to say, if you're not interested in the Spanish live stream, you're welcome to come back Thursday for a new video. Whoops, I actually wanted to show you guys the community tab. There's a community tab on the channel. And today I announced there are live streams today, but probably won't be a new video tomorrow. So this is a screen grab that I did from the video that I'm working on, and I just couldn't get to it. I've got it mostly edited. I wanted to clean it up a little bit and see if I could just make it a little smoother before I actually put it out there to the world. So yeah, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll come up with something to put up just so to have a video out there in Esperanto. But in the meanwhile, I'll be back with everybody next week with more Esperanto content. In the meanwhile, we're working on Spanish. Jeanette. Hola, Jeanette. Esa sobrina. I don't know how to say niece. Yes, though. Quiero decir que yo nunca hablo en español, pero quiero probar eso. Y es extraña. Is that the right word? Extraña.
¿Extraño?
Hablar inglés con Rafa, porque usualmente hablamos Esperanto con nosotros.
Sí.
Sí.
Creo que antes de hoy yo nunca había hablado inglés contigo.
Yes, creo que sí. I think you're right there. Yeah, because we actually, although we've had, we've exchanged messages back and forth in English, but normally we're among other Esperanto speakers when we've gotten together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I forgot what this was, so let's find out. Él necesita ducharse todos los días. Él.
That's a veiled insult.
All right, I guess right. Él necesita ducharse todos los días.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. I thought I wasn't going to make it to the end of this without losing all my hearts, but I think if you catch my mistakes, I'll be good. I'll be good.
Sometimes you're just too fast for me. You submit, I'm like, Mamá no tiene un trabajo fácil.
Yes. Mom doesn't have an easy job. Mamá no tiene un trabajo fácil. Trabajo.
Yo tomo el autobús a las 8:30.
Yeah. So when I'm working on my Spanish, I think it's always a good idea to repeat the sentence back. Yeah. Yo tomo el autobús a las 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh my gosh. Antes o después? O después. This is actually a new one on me. Is that right? Before or after?
Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I agree with you. I don't hear, I'm sure that's supposed to be a question, but I barely hear the fact that it's a question.
Ah. So I can put my little question marks on there. Whoop. Oh, I should have put the accent on the E. All right. So antes o después?
Mm-hmm.
I had been pretty diligent about spending a minute every time it says pay attention to the accents, spending a minute sort of saying it out loud and then making sure I accent the accented syllable, trying to get that to stick in my memory that way.
I presume the answer is no, but does the course actually teach you the rules for how to place accents?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, that's interesting because I almost said yes, but it occurs to me I may have read that in my book, in my complete Spanish step by. No, what is it?
Oh, okay.
I have. I've been working on complete Spanish step by step, and I've actually fallen way behind on my goal, but my goal was to do 2 pages of exercises a day, so I can get through the book in a year. So I'm going to have to take a break from Duolingo or something and get caught up on my Spanish book.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I know it has to do with there's a regular pronunciation, and basically, as I understand it, the 2 reasons why you put accents in there, one is to show an irregular accent, and the other is to if there are 2 words that would be the same, like tu and tu, as in you and your, you put an accent on to show that it's a different word.
Yep, that's like I think it's called a diacritic accent. It's to differentiate 2 words that are spelled the same way but have different grammatical functions. So yeah, just like you said, tu and tu, el y el. There's C and C.
Yeah, the question, I'm wondering if this may have been actually a Duolingo lesson. It says that the question words tend to have accents.
Yes. So again, I wish my grammar terms were better, but it's also the difference between a pronoun and that when you say que bien, que is one type of word, and when you say quiero que vengas, that que is correct. Esperanto has ruined me. It's like a correlative.
Right.
So they have different grammatical functions. So
yes, so subordinating conjunctions and relative pronouns, I think, are the.
Yes, there you go. Relative
pronouns. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe if we actually see one, maybe we'll say there's one, and then we can talk about it with an example in front of us.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try another one.
Yo nunca como la cena en casa.
All right, so I'm going to say I never eat dinner at home. And this is what I was sort of getting at before. I think I've gotten dinged in this because I said at home and I wanted it in the house or vice versa.
Huh.
But I'm going to see if it takes this.
I would say at home is en casa.
Oh, and it liked it. All right, good.
Yeah, I'll make a general observation about something I'm noticing in the course. They're using pronouns way more often than we would in Spanish. Like almost every word, every sentence starts with yo or tu.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really use pronouns that much. It shows that this is coming from like an English, source.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sound was a little bit garbled on there, but what I understood you to be saying was that you think that the in more natural Spanish, the pronoun wouldn't be there, so it'd be tomas un taxi o el autobús.
Right, exactly.
All right.
So it makes it easier for an English speaker to directly translate because the pronoun's right there, and you don't have to memorize the conjugation. But it's not.
Yep. The one thing I noticed is when I do the Pimsleur, I have some Pimsleur. It's actually on cassette tape, so I can only listen to it in my van because none of the other cars have a cassette player, and I don't have a cassette player in the house. Um, but a lot of times they'll drop the word usted, which I think is interesting because Duolingo never does that. At least not that I've noticed. Quiere agua?
Yeah, I think it's because in conversation, it's clear that you're addressing someone, so you don't have to say usted. But as a sentence without any context, you wouldn't know if you're talking to someone as usted or about a third person.
Right. All right. Let's see if it likes. Do you take a yes? ¿Tú tomas un taxi o el autobús? ¿Qué quieres comer en? Let me listen to it one more time. ¿Qué quieres comer en el almuerzo? What did you hear?
I heard ¿qué quieres comer? And then nothing after that.
Oh, okay. Let me do it to turtle speed. ¿Qué?
Yeah, I think you're right.
¿Qué quieres comer en el almuerzo?
So you have two things you might want to revise.
¿Qué? Oh, so you want the accent on that K?
Sure.
Or is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's one of them. And the other one is almuerzo. It's almost right.
Oh, I have no idea. Is there a Z instead of a C? Or
yeah, it's a Z. Just
right.
This isn't Polish.
So Polish or Hungarian? That's the other. We have an S or a Z to get. People say if somebody's last name has an S and a Z next to each other, how do you pronounce it? I'm like, well, it depends on whether it's Polish or Hungarian.
That's true, right? In Hungarian, it would be an S, right?
Yeah, and it's actually reversed. So SZ in Hungarian is the S sound, and then the regular S is like a sh, and then it's the other way around in Polish. So it's like, well, you need to find out whether they're Polish or Hungarian before you know how to pronounce their name. All right. Anyway, this is Spanish, not Hungarian. All right. Here we go. Okay, we made it to the level. Woohoo!
And you only lost one heart. No, wait.
Yeah.
You lost one heart?
Or two.
Oh, you lost two.
That was two. Yeah.
Okay.
I had one left. Oh, all right. Well, from now on, it's all going to be easy because I made it past that level 5 there. All right. Let's see who's still watching. Whoops. Over here. All right. All right. Escuche un poco a Jeanette el otro día. Pronuncia muy bien.
She does.
Mm-hmm. So how do you say I agree? ¿Cómo se dice?
Estoy de acuerdo.
Estoy de acuerdo. Estoy de acuerdo.
Yeah, usually when people say that they took 4 years of Spanish in high school, it's almost always followed by, but I can't speak a word right now.
Right.
So Jeanette was actually, she studied it and she still knows it and speaks it very well. So congratulations.
Well, I think she's got a new motivation too. That's the other thing, is that she's got she's it's not just now taking the class. She's got a goal in mind, right? So that can keep her moving. Oh yes, cuatro. Oh, yeah. So CJ asked Jeanette, how long have you been studying Spanish? And she says 4 años. 4 años. All right. Well, I see nobody's asking questions, so either they're not doing their Duolingo or they have it all under control.
We're explaining too well, Thomas. There's no questions.
Oh, there we go. That's the other thing. Yeah. So basically the idea here is I'm just out here working on my Duolingo, and Rafa is keeping me company. So this is going to be whatever anybody wants it to be. So events, any things you'd like to know about, see more of, see less of, let me know. All right, I'm going to just go right into the next one. Activity 2. All right, I'm assuming that's I wonder if it's activity or, well, the icon is running.
I'm guessing it's activity.
So, yeah. So, It's interesting. I've had a few people tell me already. They said, "Oh, gee, I didn't know that there were tips and notes until I saw it on the podcast." Yeah, so it's a good idea to go in and click that. I'm going to go back just and do it just as I'm saying it. But when you go into a lesson, to click the light bulb icon. That's where you can get the tips and notes. And I think the Esperanto course is very detailed and helpful tips and notes. Sometimes I read these ones in Spanish and I'm like, that's it, I want more. But
one of the most frustrating things as a course moderator is, I mean, I can't claim I did that because I joined the team later, but there was a lot of effort put into writing these tips and notes, and then they're hidden in the app. I mean, 90% of the questions that I answer are things that if people were reading the notes, they wouldn't be asking. Like sometimes they're like, what is this N at the end of words? I'm like, oh my God, how did you get this far without learning the acusativo? Yeah,
lesson one type things, Well, if right, exactly. So if you're just there trying to guess how this works, and so I need to learn that. So this is, I know that I've seen this before, but so this is showing us that there are words where the basic word, the infinitive, has a simple vowel in it, like almorzar, and then in certain forms the o becomes a ue. So almuerzo, almuerzas, almuerza, almorzamos. All right, so if it's we do this, then it goes back to the regular o. This is what it's telling us. Poder, puedo, puedes, puede, podemos, pueden. Yeah, I don't feel like I've got a good solid handle on that yet. I should probably spend some time just drilling that or something. This is one of my goals, is I want to finally actually learn Spanish grammar rather than just. And this is the other thing, I understand it pretty well. Whoop! I accidentally just spoke to us. I understand it fairly well. So going from Spanish to English is not the way to go. So that's why I'm trying to step through my book so I can actually just learn this stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can get through in another next few minutes here. Jump to level 2. They are having lunch at home today. So this is my strategy again. Is I always just look at the last word, and if it seems to match, then I actually read the sentence. Ellas almuerzan en casa hoy. That actually sounds right. They're having lunch at home today. The other one says vuelven. I don't know what that means. Yep, that's the good one. I want to be able to travel. So it's got yo quiero poder viajar. The other one doesn't look right to me, so we're just going to go with that one. Let's just see how quickly we can get through a bunch of these. We are trying the chicken sandwiches. Probamos.
So they capitalize the word.
Yep. No, probamos los sándwiches de pollo. Is that how you say sandwiches?
Are you asking me as a Puerto Rican?
Yes, as a Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican, I would say sandwiches with a G.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
And what if there's only one of them?
Sandwich.
Sandwich. All right, I think that's what they say in Duolingo. And the Pimsleur, it's sandwiche.
I think the purest word would be emparedado. I think gives the idea that it's something between two walls, like the breads, like the side of the wall, so emparedado. But yeah, I would say sandwich.
Hey, speaking of sandwich here, I'm going to pitch my video here. Let me see if I can find. I don't remember whether I did this on Esperanto Variety Show or whether I did it on. I did. It's on Esperanto Variety Show. I did a video. I can't remember whether I put subtitles on it. I did a video a while ago where I made a sandwich, and the
perfect sandwich, right?
Yes, I think I called it "Avoid Erroneous Sandwich Making," and I went through and I explained that when you pull a sandwich, here it is, campara mensogo.
I know what I'm hearing.
Yes, believe me, sir, it's not butter, right? So it's called country crock, or literally the country lie. Um, wise advice about sandwiches. And so I show how when you make a sandwich, you better not put the bread on backwards. And even though I said in the video that I was joking, I had several people saying, "Gee, you're really obsessed about sandwiches, aren't you?" I'm like, well, okay, yeah, I guess that was meant to be that was part of the joke, is that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. I said I was going to see how quickly I can get through these, and I got distracted by. You said 2 walls. That's what did it for me. You said 2 walls, and I'm suddenly picturing this one of the slices of bread being turned the wrong way, and I
oh
had
no,
to say something.
facing the wrong way.
All right, here we go. What are we having for lunch today? Oh, there it is. There's the K with the accent on it. K. Oh, what are we having today? Is that right? ¿Qué almorzamos hoy? What are we lunching on today?
¿Qué almorzamos hoy? Yeah.
Huh.
Do you want an interesting tidbit?
Yeah.
Many words in Spanish that start with al come from Arabic. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, like algebra.
Yeah. And you know why that is?
I do know why that is. It's because it's the Arabic word for the.
Very good.
So we have. I'm trying to think. There's so of course there's Al Qaeda and algebra. I'm trying to think of
algorithm, probably.
Algorithm, yeah. All right. Quiero empezar un nuevo trabajo. Empezar.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start. Now, this is the other thing, is that at this level of the course, when you're just doing the first time through, I find the English sentences so easy. I often don't even have to look at or listen to the Spanish. Mm-hmm. You can just tell by the words they're giving you what you're supposed to put in.
Yeah, their algorithm could use some improving, because sometimes it's like I could not make a mistake here even if I wanted to.
Yeah,
like, there are words that are similar in meaning or spelled similarly. Tú nunca vuelves a casa temprano.
Yeah, I think that's got to mean you never come home early.
Correcto.
All right. Puedo, there's my capital P, usar mi celular aquí. Puedo usar mi celular aquí. Mm-hmm. I should make it sound like a question, shouldn't I? Puedo usar mi celular aquí?
Mm-hmm. You did a better job than the recording, so.
Yeah, I know. It's Puedo. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Podemos ayudar. Why don't you read that for us?
Podemos ayudar a los niños.
So we can help the children. Whoops, we can help the children.
Correcto.
¿A qué hora? What? So the sentence we're working on, for anybody who's listening without video, the question of the sentence I'm translating is, what time do you close the store? So at what time, or what time? So it's at what time? ¿A qué hora? Cierras la tienda. La tienda.
Yeah, and it would have been correct with Sierra as well if it were usted.
Oh, right. All right. I'm not going to try it to see if it takes it, though.
Yeah, they probably meant to.
Yeah.
¿Tú almuerzas en la playa?
All right. So this is, are you having lunch on the beach? On the beach. Yes. ¿Tú almuerzas en la playa? Are you having lunch on the beach?
You see, in English, I would have hesitated between on and at.
Yeah.
Sometimes prepositions, even in English, are like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I didn't even think about that. I was just looking for the choices that I had. Are you having lunch at the beach? I don't have a lot to say about that. All right. We start this afternoon. Empezamos esta tarde.
Correcto. Tú siempre pierdes tu pasaporte.
Yeah. Tú siempre pierdes tu pasaporte. You always lose your passport. All right. Yo pruebo
Muy bien.
muchos deportes. That means I try many sports.
Ujú.
All right. Yo pruebo muchos deportes.
Ujú. ¿Ustedes entienden ahora?
Sí, nosotros entiendamos. No, entiendamos.
Entendemos.
Entendemos. Thank you.
Algo que
So, all right, that's what you have here. Keep me honest.
Ellos empiezan las clases.
All right. So ellos empiezan las clases. I would have thought it was they're starting the classes, but there's no the there. So I'm thinking it's just classes in general. Is what they're looking for. Es difícil. Oh, this is your job. Could you read that for me?
Es difícil entender este problema.
Entender este problema. Do you have a sense? Okay, so it is difficult to understand this problem. What is the difference there? What between entender and comprender? Entender and comprender.
Let me see if I can come up with a difference.
I always think of in the movies, the guy says, "No comprendo," or
That's
that sort of thing.
You would say no entiendo.
That's how it's going to be. Comprende?
Yeah, I think in that case, they're generally synonymous.
Yeah. And I was really surprised when I started paying a little more attention to Spanish that the word was entender. I'm like, what happened to comprender?
I think maybe comprender is a little bit kind of like in English comprehend, where you're talking about more like an in-depth understanding, like a subject or something. Like, but in general, if it's something general, like I don't understand what you're saying, you would probably say entender. But I think they're generally synonymous. I don't think there's a big difference.
All right. Would you read that for me?
Nosotros no entendemos la pregunta.
All right, so we don't understand the question. All right, I'm going to swing over to the chat, just see who's over there. It's funny. I got a question. I got a comment in the Esperanto stream this afternoon that somebody said, "Why is everybody speaking English here?" And I just wasn't ready to listen to that. I kind of said, well, this is the beginner's Esperanto question. We're answering answering questions that were written in English, right?
You didn't hang your ne crocodilo sign, so it was okay.
Exactly. Yep. All right. So, ¿dónde está la biblioteca? ¿Cómo se dice biblioteca? ¿Cómo quiere decir biblioteca? So Fede says sándwich se usa en Argentina también. So Fede, ¿de dónde estás? Entender y comprender me parecen más variación regional. I was wondering about that. Por eso decimos mucho más entender que comprender. Por eso yo soy de Argentina. Muy interesante.
Por acá.
Mi novia, quiero decir, la familia de mi primera novia eran de Argentina.
Oh.
Yes. It was funny because she, when she filled out her paperwork when she was applying for college, she said she was a minority. I'm like, you're a minority? She said, yeah, I'm Hispanic. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. Just because your family's from Argentina, that doesn't mean you're Hispanic, does it? She's like, yes, it does. I'm like, oh, okay. Nobody taught me these things.
Yeah, sometimes the way Argentinians in certain cities speak is such that other Spanish speakers don't understand them. So they may even be a minority among other Latin Americans. I have never, Fede, I don't know if that's, where are you from, Fede? What part of Argentina? ¿De qué parte de Argentina eres, Fede?
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming through on the live stream, but your last question got a little garbled with the latency.
¿De qué parte de Argentina eres, Fede?
Yeah, so my problem wasn't that I didn't understand Argentinian Spanish. My problem was I grew up in a place where everybody was white and preppy, and even if people were from a different area originally, that their kids were all white and preppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm from Pagonia, south of Art. Yeah, there's a time delay between what's happening on the what we're seeing and when you're seeing it. So by the time you got to reply back on the chat, that takes a little bit. All right, I'm going to see here. Oh, we got just a few minutes left. Ella no entiende el problema. She does not understand the problem. Nosotros siempre perdemos. This is the one I was having. This I don't know why nosotros always gives me a problem.
I think
perdemos.
It's the
siempre perdemos.
In these
perdemos el dinero.
It's the exception, right? So like perder, perdemos, but all the other ones have the ye. So yo pierdo, tú pierdes, ella pierde.
All right. All right, would you read that for me?
Necesito cerrar la puerta.
All right. This is necesito cerrar la puerta. I need to shut the door. I was looking for close.
Me too.
Close the door. Yep. All right. Well, I think this is not a bad place to sort of think of in terms of wrapping this up. We're coming close to about an hour and just finished a level. I wish I felt more comfortable speaking whole phrases in Spanish. Pero, Rafa, gracias para hablar español conmigo.
Con placer.
So, yeah, thanks for hanging out. Everybody, thanks for watching. And, yeah, so if you enjoy this, if you found this helpful, let me know. If there's something you'd like to see more of or less of, let me know, and we can see if we can do this again sometime. In the meanwhile, we have Esperanto content coming out on Thursdays. And yeah. All right. So,
buenas noches.
Rafa, yes, buenas noches.
Gracias por invitarme.
De nada. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thomas out.